just as a follow-up to my previous video, one might be thinking, well, I just can't be peaceful, I just can't relax. And then you go, well, what? So if I can't relax, what is preventing the relaxation? And I remember before this shift happened very clearly what was preventing the relaxation, and that was just this sense somewhere in my belly, if I had to put it somewhere, of needing something. And that was with me for like always. And it kind of went unquestioned because it was reflected back to me by everyone else as well. So you go, okay, well, I guess this is the norm. It was unquestioned. If everyone else was like Buddhas and you weren't, you'd be very obvious that something was up with you. You know, you'd be straight to the clinic. You know what I mean? But because we're all agreed that we fucking need the next moment desperately, it seems normal. And when you have a shift, the irony is that you're seen as the fucking weirdo. You know, what a world to live in. But so what do? You can't relax because there's just this sense of agitation, this sense of need. Well, what can you do, really? What options present themselves? Really nothing, unfortunately, I don't think, other than sitting around. The only thing you could do, I think what I just did, was just sit around and acknowledged it, rather than... And I mean, sometimes I would just sit there and just try and be, because I'd see everyone else just being that I was listening to. So just lying in my bed, I can't. I need to get a beer. I can't. I just can't. And if you can't, you can't. You can't. But maybe you can. You know, maybe you're at a point where you're acutely aware of this sense of need, and you're kind of like, okay, well, what is this then? Let's just sit here and just go there with your attention. And nothing might happen, or it might dissolve a little bit as you sit there, and then it might come back, or it might dissolve a bit more, and eventually it just sort of disappears of its own accord. But there's no real technique that you could apply. I mean, you could do all that stuff, but you get exhausted with that as well, just like with everything. Everything is exhausting, ultimately. Whatever you're doing is exhausting. You know what I mean? So for me, this process has just been all about relaxation and just being kind to the body, you know. Being kind to yourself. And it doesn't mean lying around eating pizza necessarily and watching Netflix. I mean, I love yoga, and that's kind of relaxation as well. It's like, it's very active because I have a lot of passion and I'm very energetic. And that's just the way I am. But within that, there can be relaxation. In fact, that's what I love about yoga, is that interplay between movement and stillness. Pushing and groundedness, expansion and contraction, yin yang, all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So, think about that.